All right, so the first example we did, see, I gave the kids these little whiteboards, so
Hey
they
people.
grabbed them.
Hi. Miss Parker. Hey.
Are you out of your minds? Okay, okay. You want to hear the weird ones? They're the weird ones. They talking so much. That girl right there is the weirdest of them all. All right. Now you guys don't act right, you're gonna get moved. You guys think you slick. All right. So there's two items we need. We don't need to use a calculator today. These are in what's called slope-intercept form. And we need to be able to look at this algebra and know that that's where you find the slope. It's the coefficient in front of the x. And slope is your up and down over your left and right. And so the problem though is we need a point of reference to begin with. So our second term, this b value, which we still have those equations written over there. This one is the y-intercept, and for us that's -2, so we start here, and then we traverse up 7 units and over 2 and draw our dot. We were also talking about with these kids have larger graphs, and it's even better if you can go up 7 over 2 and then go here and go down 7 over 2 to really help you have a full understanding of what you're doing. So that's example 1. Let's try another one. Easy. Fantastic. Do me a favor. I want you to identify the slope and identify the y-intercept before you do your graph. Like, write it down so I can see that you know. All right, so when we're doing these, if it's positive, we're going to go up and right. And if it's negative, we're going to go down and right. We'll just do it that way every time for the first point after the y-intercept. So this one's a -6. We can always make it over 1. So now we have the complete fraction. So since it's negative, we'll go ahead and go down and right. So we need our first point of reference. We'll start at 3. I go down 6, right 1. So we're always going to go to the right for the first point after the intercept. It's just, are we going to go up or down? And if it's positive, it's up. If it's negative, it's down. Now, that being said, I still think it is a strength if your graph allows it, if it's big enough. Mine doesn't really allow it, but if it's big enough to do an extra point going in reverse. So I would go backwards and over 1. And that's just a visual. It helps you better understand what's going on. And you can see it's still going down from left to right. It's just a real strong descent here. It's a steep descent. So again, we have our intercept. It's 3. For your slope, you don't include the x. It's just the number in front. That's a -6. You're like, but we use fractions with slope. True. It's a whole number or an integer. You can put it over 1. Now we have our left and right motion and our up and down motion. So since it's negative, we're going to say down and right. Any questions?
No, sir.
Okie dokie. We will try another. That one, these ones are actually a little easier. Let's see. Let's try this one. So, quiet please. All right, so where would my start point be?
2.
2. There's a lot of 2s. I see 4 different kinds of 2s up here. On the what? On the up? On the y-axis, it says y, we go up 2. Okay. What about our slope? We know the slope is what? 5 over 3. So what direction do my arrows go?
Right.
Up and what?
Right.
Okay, that's really just a rule for the first point. So up 5. Now we run out of room on this graph. I can still estimate, and then I can go backwards, down 5 over 3. Because if I know the trend, it's easy to find the reverse. I would encourage you, when possible, to at least imagine it or do both and get 3 points up there. Alright, are we good so far?
Yes.
Alright, you need to write down, well, we'll pause for a minute with the whiteboards and stuff. We gotta go to something else. Someone hit pause. Okay, so I just told the kids they had to memorize these 4 graphs. If it has a positive slope, it goes that way. It leans upwards. If it has a negative slope, it has to lean downwards from left to right. If the slope is 0, it's horizontal. And if it's a vertical line, it has no slope or it's undefined. Horizontal lines are always written in an equation, y equal a specific number, and vertical lines are always written in an equation, x equal to some specific number. And we'll have 2 examples of these in a moment. Let's take a look at number 3. I gave you 4 pictures. These are must memorize pictures. Positive slope, negative slope, 0 slope, undefined slope. Which one has x equal to a number? Which picture? Which one? The third one.
The last one.
The
No
third
slope,
one
undefined.
says y equals a number. What equation is this? It's x. Okay, so here's the thing. There's a couple ways you can look at it, but you need to probably just memorize that. If it says x equals a number, I'm going to go to that number. It's 5. And the hash marks go like this, right? It goes the same direction as the hash marks. It has no slope. Now, I don't know if you've done this for each problem, but I said write down the slope and write down the y-intercept for each one. Where does this cross the y-axis? It doesn't. No y-intercept. If it doesn't have one and you graph the whole thing, then it just doesn't have one. What kind of intercept does it have? That's the kind of slope it has. No slope or undefined. What kind of intercept does it have? It has an x-intercept. We haven't spent a lot of time talking about that, but there it is. The x-intercept is 5, 0. It has an x-intercept. Now, I didn't make it a point of emphasis today, but it's coming. This, in the next week and a half, x-intercepts are going to be part of your next assessment. We'll spend a day or so on it. All right, let's jump to the next one that's a little different. Number 6. Which of the 4 lines is this?
Oh, the third one.
The third one, because it says y equals to -3. So these hash marks on the y's are like that. So if you have y equals to one of those numbers, that's the way the line goes. It just goes straight across with the hash mark. Now, if you really get a little stuck, there's another thing to look at. You see that point? The yellow one. Is it part of that line?
No.
Yeah.
It's on the line, right?
Yeah.
The coordinates for it are 2 and what? Huh?
-3.
-3. Let's choose another one. What are the points that make this one?
-4.
What do they have in common? -3. Guys, every single dot I can put on here would have a y value of what? That's why it's the line of the y's equaling -3. if that helps, thinking of it that way. You may just need to memorize. If you go to the x's, you can play the same game. What point is this? 5, -2. How about this one? 5, 4. What do they have in common? 5s. Guys, every single point on here has the x value of 5. That's why this is the line of all the x's equal to 5. Okay? Hopefully that helps you better understand that part just a little bit. Everybody cool with our 6 graphs? Start thinking about horizontal and vertical lines and their traits. Let's go to the back side. All the other ones we did on our whiteboards. This time we're working in reverse. In a way it's easier, but it's a pretty solid skill, because being able to take the equation and graph is one skill. Then what about going from the graph to the equation? Well, to write the equation, you still need the slope, and then you need the y-intercept, and then you have the equation, right? So we got to find a couple valid points, and the ones you want to write in the crosshairs. So I like that one. It's on the intercept. What's that point?
4.
It's at 4. And then here's another one. Find the next nicest one that crosses. I think it's right there. Is this going up or down?
Down.
It's a negative. But we gotta find the slope. So we look at our little stairs. How many down did it go?
3.
3, and how far over?
2.
-3/2 is going downwards from left to right, just like one of our 4 pictures, this one. So you know it's a negative slope. We found the up and down. It was 3. The left and right was 2. And then we have the intercept, so that's the whole equation.
Bless you.
What do you think, Bailey? Good. All right. You guys try 8, 9, and 10. Follow the same strategy.